So, somebody may be ear hustling on you and stuff like that. So I want to talk to, these people who may be experiencing this type of energy, okay? So this type of energy is is something that has been going on for centuries. Since the beginning of time, people have been copying, okay? There is major industries and establishments and all kinds of things that built their basically their business, their ideas, their platforms or whatever they're doing off of another person's idea. Okay, they've copied off of somebody else's concept. um they basically got their inspiration from what somebody else was doing. So today I want to talk about this type of energy of what people may be experiencing online, offline, in regards to spiritual identity theft. So hopefully, you know, my homegirl can meet me on tonight, but if not, as I've always been doing, is doing this on my own. So basically, spiritual identity theft, what I want to talk to you guys tonight is an energy that is given off by a hater who's a bully with a football mentality, and they also have the evil eye. So, like I was saying before, this is a subject that many people choose not to talk about for whatever reason. Um, this is an energy that is prevalent, I believe, in today's time, especially in 2022. As you guys have heard, there's a lot of people that you may follow, that you like online and even offline, that are experiencing things like this. But, for whatever reason, this type of energy is swept under the rug. Um, I don't know why people sweep this kind of energy under the rug. They don't want to talk about it. But basically, this kind of energy includes identity theft, which I believe in 2022 is a high vibration right now. I'm sure that you guys have heard of other people on YouTube complaining about and warning people to be careful because people on the internet are using their name, they're using their pictures, and they're tricking followers of theirs into buying services and things that they're disguising under their identity. And countless people in today's times are falling for this game. Okay. So countless people are falling for this game and they're being tricked out of hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people online that are being tricked out of thousands of dollars because of the spiritual identity theft. So, a lot of people may try to act like this is not happening to them, but it's happening to them. Whether it's spiritual identity theft or physical identity theft. In 2022, I'm here to tell you, and this is going on record, okay, that a lot of people's identity is being stolen. People's social security numbers are being compromised. Um, People's pictures are easily being taken and copied in what do you call that? When you take a screenshot. And it's so easy to spiritually identity theft somebody these days. Anybody who goes online in 2022 and act as if, you're living in La La Land, or, everything is gravy in the Navy, or this is Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. If you're living in that idea of life in 2022, you're naive. I'm sorry to say. You're gullible. You know what I'm saying? And you're a fool in some cases, because if you think that in 2022 that nobody has the ability to steal your identity, then you're a fool. Okay? You're a fool. And I'm not really surprised when I'm online, like all of us are, who's into the occult, astrology, numerology, religion, whatever you're into. I'm sure that you're into other people who are more popular or even not popular or whatever, whoever you follow. I'm sure you've heard through the grapevine that these people are currently being scammed. They're currently being scammed because somebody stole their identity. Whether they want to admit it or not, that's what's happening in the year of 2022. Let me make sure I got this right. So this is going to be a long show because um I'm going to go into things and the mentality of people who copycat off of other people. Okay? So, let me make sure that I'm good and everything like that. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. Let me just make sure cuz I'm about to go in on some important information for those who are currently being identity theft. Currently, your identity is being stolen. Somebody's copying off of you. Somebody's stealing your style. When somebody steals your style, basically, this is a copycat. This is a spiritual bootlegger, a scammer that doesn't really want you around. If you're on the internet and you have a big social presence and you're dealing with, a group of people who may be following you for whatever reason, maybe they like the way you talk, maybe they like the way you walk, maybe they like the things that you say, maybe they resonate you, they connect with you, they vibe with you. Your spirit is your spirit and their spirit is on the level. But there's people within that crowd that's not down with you 100%. So this is where you're going to experience like spiritual identity theft, where basically somebody within the crowd, somebody who's around you, because in order for spiritual identity theft to take place, this person has to have some way or another, this person was around you, whether that's in the crowd, whether that's in a friend, whether that's a family member, I don't know, but this person, some way, somehow, at first, they were a fan, they were a lover, they were a liker, they were somebody who probably looked up to you. But at some point within the relationship, this person fell into contempt, which I talked about before, where there's even in your family you can experience this in relationship. This is karmic, where you could be in a relationship with somebody, you can even have a friendship with somebody, and over time you're confiding in this person, you're trusting this person, and you're telling this person intimate secrets about yourself that you would normally tell, like, the group of people that you deal with. And this person becomes comfortable with you, and they're seeing and they're examining your energy, and they're figuring you out that you're not as powerful as you may display to the audience. So they feel like they're on the level with you because you confided in this person. This is a friend that I'm talking about. So the sad part about all of this is that if you experience something like this is a form of betrayal. So I'm going to talk about this on different levels. This is betrayal from a friendship. This may even come from betrayal from a relationship, and even betrayal from a family member. This is basically when you deal with spiritual identity theft, copycats, and people who ear hustle on your information. This is basically a person who was close to you, okay, who fell in contempt with you, who felt like at some point that they were better than you, and that what you're doing and what you're gaining from it, you don't deserve it because they're better than you. And the only reason why that happened was because some way along the line, this person was hanging around you, circling around your cipher, and they fell into contempt with you and they devalued you over time to the point where they took stock of what you were doing and they planned on you. So that's a spiritual thief. So let me make sure that I'm still recording. Okay, so good. I'm loud and clear. So this is a serious subject. Like I said, a lot of people, for whatever reason, they sweep it under the rug and they don't really want to talk about it. I guess it's because it's something that's so common. Like I said, there's lots of businesses and industries out here who their wealth is built off of somebody else's idea. For example, how many people out there know about like the Chinatown? Like if you're from the New York area, everybody knows about Chinatown. Chinatown is a place where you can go and you can buy replica and bootleg products of things that are a replica of something that is real. So you can't afford what's real. So what you do is to fake the fump, uh, to give off that illusion, you buy the bootleg. So there's lots of industries out here that, their living comes off of bootlegging your ideas and your design. You know what I'm saying? So lots of companies have dealt with this, and this is why we have things in place, thank God, in many different states and many different countries that, they have a system in place that you have to submit your work to them prematurely before you put it out on social media or on display, because if you don't, this person is going to bootleg your stuff. So there's, thank God we have industries and stuff like that out here to protect those who have, things that they've worked, things, ideas and plans and all kinds of inventions that they've made that I'm telling you, listen to me. Let me just say this right here, right quick. If you have an idea, if you have a plan, if you have a project, if you have anything that you know that you have that nobody else have, let me give you some advice. Don't go out there bragging and boasting, and don't even go back and tell your friend what your idea is. Run quickly to the patent office, run quickly to the copyright office, run quickly to trademark, whatever you have to do. Run quickly there before you tell your best friend. I know it sounds crazy, right? Because you're like, my best friend is somebody that I can find in. I tell them all my secrets. I tell them, when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm this, when I'm that. And, they should be the first one that I confide in. But I'm here to tell you that is not the first person that you should confide in. The first person that you should confide in, if you believe in God, is God first. Second is the next step to trademark, to copyright, to cover yourself financially. Because if you tell somebody your ideas, which I'm about to go through it right now, it's a deep story that I'm about to tell you guys right now. So if you don't have time, quickly, sign off, because I'm about to get into the psychology and the mentality of a person who copies. Don't go to your best friend and tell them your ideas. Ain't it fucked up that I say that? Because like, so many adults, we want to live like children. We want to have a childlike mentality where we want to brag and boast to our friends and let them know what we're doing, how we're doing it, and this, that, and the third. But I'm telling you, that's not the way to go. If you have an idea, go quickly to the magistrate's office and register yourself. Do not tell your friend. Because if you tell your friend, there's a good chance that they're going to fall into contempt and they're going to copy you. I'm going to go into that in a minute. So if you have any ideas, guys, once again, ideas, plans, anything that you're thinking of, do not. This is a spiritual conversation that I'm having you with you right now. Okay, this is not the Monday physical conversation that you may be having with other people who tells you to sit on YouTube and give people your plans and your ideas of what you want to do. You can follow that physical idea, but on a spiritual idea, on a spiritual level, don't do that, because I'm here to tell you from experience. If you tell people your idea, I guarantee you that there's a 9 times out of 10% chance that they're going to steal your ideas. They're going to steal it. They're going to run with it. Okay? They're going to run miles with your shit. And if they have a bigger audience than you do, they're definitely going to present it to their audience before you do. So to protect yourself, go through the measurements that you need to go through in order to protect your property, especially if you have an online presence. Online, little do we know, it's cheap right now, and in some cases, it's free to obtain your real estate property. Because online, little do you know, this is real estate. Your name is real estate. Your platform is real estate. And if you don't take it, somebody else will come and take it from you. Okay. So we're going to go through that in a minute. I'm going to talk to you guys about that. This is a very, very, very serious conversation for those who may be interested in building a platform, who may have a platform right now. Unfortunately, these are things that you have to do, because if you don't do, there's pirates in the Caribbean that's ready to come and take over you. Okay. So I'm here to talk to you about that. Okay. So going over this information, spiritual identity theft. What is spiritual identity theft? Spiritual identity theft is an energy given off by a hater who is a bully with a football mentality and has the eye of the Ayin Ra. So I don't know if I'm saying it right, but the Ayin Ra is basically the evil eye. So if you come across a person who has stolen your identity, ear hustled on what you have said, spiritually identity theft your information, this person has the mentality of a football player who wants to invade your space and has the evil eye. A copycat is a spiritual bootlegger, a scammer that does not want you around. This is a person who is hoping and praying that eventually you will fall off and drop out so they can take your place. People who copy, I said this before, are like monkeys on your back. They're like a backpack who at some point stalked and even talked about you to a lot of different people. A copycat is a person who at one time may have been an admirer, they may have been a friend, may have even been a foe, who over time have snuggled and snuck in your environment through the back door, and over time have taken mental and physical notes and felt as though they were better than you. Remember, most of the time when people copy from you, this is a person who is A copycat is mostly a person who has stalked you, have came across you, um, most likely a friend, and even a lover. I mean, I talked about this what on 2 or 3 shows ago, where I was talking to somebody, and I was telling her that even in today's times that you'll find that lovers are not lovers anymore; they're competitors. That you get with somebody, and in the beginning you want it to be a loving relationship. You want to you want to kiss and caress and love on this person, but eventually, as you talk to this person, you're realizing that this person is in your life as a handler, and they're clocking you, and they want to know everything that you do so they can conquer you. So now this person becomes a competitor instead of a lover. And a lot of people, guys, a lot of people, they don't want to admit this, but this is what's going on. I talk to a lot of people, even older people who are in their 70s and 80s, and tell me that they're going through this type of energy. And when they tell me this, sometimes I get blown away off the phone, because I'm like, wait, I don't want to diss them or anything, but I'm saying to myself, wow, this person is like in their 70s and their 80s. Like, you would think at that point in your life, when you're 70 and 80, that these types of games and this type of manipulation energy would be out of your cipher. And then you find out, no. Guys, let me tell you something. I talk to a lot of older people for whatever reason. Maybe it's my Saturn. And when I have these conversations with these people, I'm thinking that the conversation that I'm having with these people would be mature. They would be telling me things other than what, younger people are experiencing. But no, I'm here to tell you that, guys, I talk to a lot of older people, and you would be surprised that a lot of older people, instead of them advancing in life, they're going in reverse. And a lot of things that they're experiencing are childlike situations that they shouldn't be going through at the age of 70, 80, 90, but they're going through it. And they're going through it, and they're experiencing things like spiritual identity theft. A lot of older people, guys, whether that has anything to do with spirituality, a lot of older people go through identity theft, especially if they're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Nothing to do with spirituality. These people are going through identity theft because a lot of people feel as though, this person is 70, they're 80, they're 90, they're too old, they're too dumb, they're too slow to realize that I came within their kingdom and I swiped their information, and they're stealing from people's accounts. Look, I've talked to older people who got, some good amount of money in their accounts, and they've invited people in their home to be caretakers of them, to help them get out their beds or help them just do their daily duties, because they're single and they don't really have children or anything like that. And they're allowing these caretakers to come into the home, and these caretakers are around them with smiles on their face, energy of loving, but they're really out there snooping around this older person, trying to identity theft them by stealing their account information. Look, when you're dealing with spiritual identity theft and you invite somebody in your space, you have to know that there's a good chance that you may become a victim of not only spiritual identity theft, but actual identity theft. These are the types of people who will use the internet, who may be even government agents online, who have access to your personal information. So, these are the type of people who will secretly stalk and look up your information through using tools with high tech information, high tech tools. um to tap into your actual physical bank accounts. This is what's going on right now. There's people online who follow people. They study people and they target vulnerable people who they may feel, like this person may have a lot of money, or this person may have a lot of followers, and they clock you. They monitor your interactions that you have with people and who's donating with you, whether that's through super chat. Let's say, for example, if you have YouTube and you have super chat, there is probably somebody within your circle who is there because they don't like you, but they're there to clock you. And they're examining the kind of love that people have for you. So through this examination, what they will do is they will gather data and they will gather statistics. And what they will do is they will monitor not only you, but they will monitor your crowd and see how they can finagle within your conversations that you're having with people and manipulate the people who are following you to pay them for services that they're pretending that you're rendering for that person. So a lot of spiritual identity theft is going on right now. A lot of people on YouTube are experiencing this, especially older people. A lot of older people, elderly people, they are prime targets of spiritual and physical identity theft. See, people who identity theft people, they bank on you not being around too long. So people who spiritually identity theft people by stealing their name, their ideas, words that they've said and stuff like that, they steal that from you easily because they feel like you're not popular enough, you're not known enough. There's something about you that's minimized enough to where they can conquer over you and go to their crowd and talk about the things that you've said or overcome you with information that they know about you. So they spiritually identify and they thieve from you through spiritually identity thefting you. So let me make sure that I'm still recording because this, like I said, this is very important information. This is what's going on in the year of 2022. It started during the time of COVID, where people became bored and they wanted something to do and they became envious of people who online were getting more props than they do. So let me go real quick in the chat. Let's see. Watch your Capricorn rising videos. Possible for Cap Sun energy, spiritually thriving. My Cap rising, patent laws. Yes, I agree with everything you're saying so far. My parents. So yeah, guys. So I'm here to tell you right now, if there's anybody out there, if you have an idea, see, right now I'm talking to you like I would talk to my own children. If you have an idea, I know that you have best friends. I know that you have friends. I know that you have boyfriends. I know that you have girlfriends. You have people in your life that you trust in. Maybe you don't have that energy in your chart where people will betray you. But I'm here to tell you from experience and for the things that I've went through over the years, especially dealing with this channel, that there's a 9 times out of 10% chance, 9 times out of 10, that the friend that you have today, 10 years from now, you won't have that same friend. I know it's sad, the information that I'm telling you, but I'm telling you over experience and over the people that I've been talking to, which when I communicate with people, I like to communicate with older people because they have experience. I don't want to really talk to people who are young or people who are bitter and salty inside. I don't really want to talk to those type of people. I want to talk to older people because These people have walked the path that we're fixing to walk down if we're not walking down it already. And I like to talk to older people because they know, they saw, they seen, they've witnessed, and they're going through the end result of why they chose to be alone and stuff like that. So when I talk to these older people and they tell me, if they had to go back in time and do it all over again, they would have eliminated the majority of people that they wasted their time on. I take heed to that. So I'm here to tell you, anybody out there, if you have an idea, if you have a plan, even if you have a lover, don't be so quick to go out there and tell people about your ideas. Because I'm telling you, yo, you don't have to listen to me. You can learn the hard way. If you have an idea, if you have a plan, don't be so quick to run and tell anybody about that idea. Even if it's your family, I know it's sick to say, but even if it's your family, I highly recommend you to keep that shit to yourself. Because if you tell somebody about your idea and your plan and they didn't do what you do or did what you did, they're gonna become salty and envious of your plan. And they're gonna devalue you and feel as though that, what you have, they should have. Because something inside of them built up over time that told them that they're better than you. And the only reason why that happened is because they fell in contempt with you because you were hanging around them too much. You were telling them too much stuff, and they felt like they were on the level with you. Them not realizing that whatever God has in store for you is going to happen no matter what they do. But they're going to challenge you with the information that you told them. So I'm here to tell you that, be careful. Be careful of the things that you tell people, especially your best friend. I have kids right now, guys, and I'm telling them, I mean, I'm looking at my kids and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to tell you the information that I tell people on YouTube. But I'm not gonna, I don't want to put too much pressure on them because they have to go through their life. They have their own karma and stuff like that, that God sets for them. They have lessons and things that they have to learn. But I'm here to warn you and tell you that, yeah, you have best friends. What you think is your best friend today. But as you go on your way, you're gonna see that this best friend that you had in 2000 in 2022, this is a whole different best friend in 2022. How many of you out there who said in the year 2000 that this person that you called your best friend, that this person that you called your man, your woman, your wife, your husband in the year 2000, here we are in the year 2022. This is a whole different person that you knew back in 2000. Here we are in 2022. It's a different person. It's a different energy because over time, people have fell in contempt with you. They got comfortable. They leveled you out and they felt like they were on the same level as you. So they placed you in a certain situation where they felt like they could do better than you. So a copycat is a person who fell in contempt with you. That's the truth. Whether you want to believe it or not, a copycat is a person who fell in contempt with you. A copycat is a person who felt like they could do better than you. Okay, a copycat is a person who looked at you and something about you they didn't like, they devalued you, and they said to themselves, I'm telling you, copycat people are the type of people who at one time they may have liked you, they may have adored you, they may have even looked up to you, but somewhere along the line they leveled you out and they devalued you and they felt like, you know what, let me go ahead and put my disclaimer. If you're black, you understand where I'm coming from. If you're white, you may understand. I don't know. But as a black person, let me tell you something. Most black people can understand where I'm coming from when I'm about to say this. If you're black and you have another black friend and you're from the same hood or you're from the same type of situation, and they're not leveling it out, they're not growing up, they're not moving up. They look at you as the same person who always was in the same situation. They're not going to see the value in you. They're not going to see your growth. They're not going to see your maturity. They're not going to see your development. What they're going to do is they're going to program their mind, and they're going to put you in a category where you will always be devalued in their mind, and they're going to want to compete with you. And they're going to say to themselves, you know what? This person is from my hood. We were raised in the same building. We're from the same hood. And they're going to feel no matter what you do, no matter what you've accomplished, no matter what you have attained as far as like diplomacy, they're going to feel in their mind that just because you're black, just because you're from the same hood that they're from, that you're on the same level as they are, even though they're not willing to grow as much as you. And during that mental process, they're going to devalue you. I want you to understand this. They're going to devalue you and they're going to want to challenge you. And that's where competitiveness is going to come into play. They're going to want to compete with you because they're going to feel like you're not really better than them because you're from their hood. You're black like they are. They're on the same level as you and they're not going to really respect you. So they're going to want to challenge you. They're going to want to compete with you. So when you're going through spiritual identity theft and you're dealing with copycats and people who air hustle, you have to know that these people are bullies and they have the evil eye. And these people have deep rooting feelings of envy and jealousy. They have feelings of entitlement. They have feelings of superiority, like they feel like they're better than you no matter what you do, no matter what you've attained. They feel like they are better than you. Okay. You have to understand when you're dealing with a spiritual person who is committing identity theft and who is a copycat. These are the types of people who you have to know that you put the fire to their flame. You give them the kick, the boost, the motivation to jump into something that at one point in their life they may have thought that was impossible or unattainable. But due to the fact that, again, you could be black, you could be white, you could be Indian, you could be Chinese. I don't know who or what you are who's listening to this right now, but if you are around a person like this and they feel like, you're black like they're black, you're from the same hood like you're from the hood or whatever the situation is. I don't know, everybody's going through different things in this life. They feel as though they can copy you. And not only will they copy you, but they will show you and make you feel like you're not worthy because in their minds they have devalued you. Let me go real quick to the chat. Okay. So again, This is a subject that a lot of people, I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about this, but this is a serious thing. This is a serious thing, and I'm here to tell you, like I said before, this is a conversation that I would have with my daughters, with my sons, with my family members. I let me take this off. This is a conversation that I would definitely have with my family. So what I'm about to tell you right now is not something that is a bullshit conversation. This is a real conversation. This is a warning to anybody out there that has an idea. You have a plan. You have something that is worthy. I'm out here to warn you to cover yourself, to protect yourself. The first thing to protect yourself is never, ever. You hear me? Don't you ever, don't you ever take this from people who have fucking made the mistake, like myself and elder people that I've talked to. Don't you ever express your plans to anybody. You know how do you protect yourself? You express those plans. If you believe in God, express it to God. If you have a good relationship to your parents, express it to your parents. And sometimes the parents can be haters. And I don't mean to go into this real quick, but sometimes, your parents, they could be a little bit of haters. This is another level of subject. I'm not going to really go into it right now. I'm not gonna, I don't really mean to, throw the parents under the bus, but sometimes your parents could be haters. They could be haters because, they see you as a reflection. You are a reflection of your parent. You know what I mean? If you're a daughter, you're a reflection of your mother. If you're a son, you're a reflection of the father. And sometimes when your parents they look at you, they look at you like, damn, they see you in them because you're the son, you're the mother, you're the daughter. So when they look at the child, they see potential, they see a future. So sometimes the parents could be jealous. So I wouldn't really like encourage you like to tell your parents like, your dreams and aspirations because spiritually sometimes the parents could be jealous too because they took the wrong route. They made the wrong decisions and they see you as a fresh specimen, a fresh idea that hasn't been tampered with like they were. And, sometimes parents can become jealous of their own children. So I know that this is hard information that I'm telling you right now, but this is the truth. Sometimes your own mother, your own father, you can go to them with an idea, a plan, something that you are excited about and you want to share it with your parent, but you share it with them and then you see that, after you've told them the information, that the reaction, the response that you got from them, the energy is not right. You're getting the energy from them that they're a hater. So understand where I'm coming from. Be very careful and choosy about the people that you share your ideas to. I know this may be tough, but if you have an idea, I know you want to share it. I know you're excited. I know you're elated. I know you're overwhelmed by the energy and the feeling that you have of this idea that if other people join hands and join forces with you, that if you bring it forth, you can conquer. But I'm here to tell you that over, over life, over experiences, the age that I'm at right now, that this can be a dangerous thing. That, you may have this wonderful idea, this wonderful invention, and you go to sometimes even your parent and you tell your parent, like, look, I have this idea. Nobody on this planet has this idea. You know what I mean? If you support me, even if they don't support you physically or financially. You just need their energy to support you. And you go to them and you tell them, like, look, this and this is that, and this is what I could do. And, if you support me, not even financially, but just energetically, I can make this happen and we could do this. You'll find that you'll go to even your own parent and they won't even give you that same type of energy. So this is spiritual identity theft. Spiritual identity theft is when you go to somebody with an idea, a plan, something that you know is going to hit if you have the support from others, but you go to the people with this idea and you're thinking that they're going to be on the same level as you. They're going to be on board with you. They're going to see your vision, and then you go to them and then it's knocked down by negativity because their response is condescending. And you go to them with your accomplishments, and they say, well, I'm proud of you. However they say it, you can pick up on their energy, that what they're saying out their mouth is not really energetically how they're feeling. So that energy alone blocks the whole idea, the concept, the whole vision from what you were trying to put out. So a lot of people in this life, they die, they go to the grave with ideas and things that they wanted to bring forth in this life, but they don't, because the people that they confided in, the people that they told their visions, dreams, and ideas to, dampened their dreams. They dampened their ideas, guys. And they made them feel like silly or like stupid or foolish or um devalued because of the idea that they presented to them. So the person that they looked up to, whether it's a parent, a lover, a friend, or a foe, that they will know eventually as they go, um wanted them to feel this spiritual affliction so they can divert off of this idea that's going to bring them wealth and a legacy for years to come. They wanted them to feel like that so they can divert away from their energy. This is why a lot of people die and the graveyard is filled with wealth. Don't you know that the graveyard is the most wealthiest place on this planet, because there's so many people who, unfortunately, they died before their time. They were killed because of betrayal, jealousy, and envy. They didn't have enough time. Wrong place, wrong time. There's so many things going on in that graveyard where people didn't get a chance to um display, express the gifts that God blessed them to come on this earth to do. But due to the fact that they came across the wrong type of people, this type of energy was suffocated. It was debilitated. It was minimized and devalued, and it was put on the back burner because of people that they came across in this life that didn't want to see good for you. So this is a serious thing, guys. This is a serious thing. People who copy you, they bet on you to fall off. They bet on you to give up so they can take your place. Let me make sure that I'm still recording. It's a sad situation. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm still recording. Let me put some music on. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna take a break real quick, guys. Let me put some some music on. Let me go to the bathroom. Guys, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't tell nobody, baby. Don't tell nobody. I tell my kids all the time, don't tell nobody. Don't tell them your secrets. Don't tell them your ideas. Everybody good? Everybody's good? You at work? Food? Make the food. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask. 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 Don't ask. Don't tell. Don't ask. Anyway. All right. So anyway. So like I said before, if you're going through spiritual identity theft, copycats and they are hustlers, these are basically bullies, people who have the evil eye. They have a deep rooted feeling of a sense of entitlement. They have a superiority complex. Just know that you are the fire to their flame, baby. You are the kick. You are the boost. Okay? You are the motivation to that something that at one point in their life it felt impossible. But looking at you, they realize it's attainable. So they know if they copy and they show you that they've copied and they've used your words and they've said things that you've said and they've done things that you've done, that this is going to put you in this is going to put you in a funk, guys. If you've went through this, I want to tell you right now that you're going to feel some type of way. People who have been copied and they got their identity theft stolen, when you get wind of this, you're going to go through a roller coaster of emotions. Okay. Look, a copycat knows when they copy you, they're going to come out blatant and they're going to show you, aha, I could do it better than you. When a copycat, see copycats, they're extroverted people. I wanted to tell you that. A lot of people who copycats are extroverted people, but some of them are not. There's just some type of inner fucking saltiness inside of them where they feel like they can do better than you, but most copycats are extroverted. And they're going to be blatant. And they're going to come out like I said like a ha ha. And they're going to show you like, "Look, bitch, I'm doing better than you. Look, nigger, I'm doing better than you." And when you get wind of this, at first, when you get wind of this and you start seeing people copying over you and everything like that, you're gonna feel some type of way. And let me tell you, you're gonna go through a roller coaster of information of feelings. And at first, you're gonna feel confused. You may feel blindsided and everything like that. You're gonna feel blindsided because you're gonna realize that this person that you've been confiding in and telling all your business to, okay, move like a snake around you. And behind the scenes, they were gathering information on you. And they used tactics to try to demean you and sort of sabotage you so you could feel like a victim behind the scenes because they backstabbed you, because they were angry. They were filled with anxiety and they felt like they needed to rush and do something before you because of the things that you have told them or showed them. So if you become a victim of a spiritual identity theft, you're going to feel invaded. You're going to feel spied on. You're going to feel stalked. And you're going to feel like this person walked on you because they know things about you that you didn't get a chance to bring forth. You didn't take it off the iron. And they took it off the iron for you because they felt in contempt with you because they got comfortable around you because of the things that you may have been showing or telling them. So this is spiritual identity theft. You have to protect yourself. But I'm telling you, if this person spiritually identified theft on you, there is somebody within their crew who probably pulled their wig. Hey! They pulled their wig. They pulled on their jacket and they said, "Baby, hold on. Stop. Wait. You're copying this person. You sound like this person. You're doing the same thing that that person is doing. Don't do that. Scale back, fall back, do something different, be unique, play it off." But they're going to say to themselves, because this is, when you're dealing with somebody who spiritually identifies and they fucking do identity theft on you and they copy you and they air hustle and they use your words and they use your sayings and they set up they set how you set it up. Let me tell you something. This person is mentally ill. They suffer from depression. They have anxiety and they're bored. These are the types of people who often say that they've bored. People who identity theft off of you, I'm telling you, there's a 99.9% chance. I'm telling you. This is from experience and from things that I have gathered. There's a 99.9% chance that people who identity theft at some point you've had some type of conversation with them or they've told you that they were bored and they have absolutely nothing else to do, but due to the fact that they were comfortable and they got cozied up under you and they fell into contempt, they felt like they were on the same level as you. So as a result, their boredom became a competition with you. And these are the type of people who fall in contempt and they feel like they can do better than you. I'm here to tell you that this is a dangerous person and you need to stay far away from this person. If you come across this type of energy and this person is your friend and they do this to you, I'm here to give you advice and let you know completely and smoothly, like a knife, cut this person off. Cut the cord and spiritually divorce this person. Because once a backstabber, always a backstabber. And the only reason why a backstabber will come back around you is because they see that, the first backstabbing, it didn't take you down. Because when somebody backstabs you and they spiritually identify and they say that, you're the one that they're going to fucking thief from, you got to know that you're dealing with a backstabber. A backstabber is a dangerous person. They're not to be trusted. They move like a snake. And you have to remove this person from your cipher. Because if you don't, they're going to be slithering around you forever and ever. Even if they come back and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I don't know what I was thinking. I realized that after I left you, you were the one," and stuff like that. You know what? Just be nice to that person and say whatever, whatever, but never invite that person back into your secrets. Never tell that person your plans or ideas, because I'm telling you right now, if you fall into that trap again, you're going to get fucking bit by them who is a snake. Be careful. This person is a backstabber. A copycat person is a backstabber. Period. A copycat is a person who studies and seeks out. Can you hear me? A copycat is a person who seeks out to dismiss, to disarm, to dismiss you, to devalue you. Everything that you do, everything that you say, they're there around you to clock you and to dismiss you, because watching you angers them. Let me tell you something. There is psychologists and experts out there who believe that people who have this type of energy, who is excessively competitive, these types of people have deep seated jealousy, self entitlement issues, and no matter what they copy after you, they feel like they're their shit. Okay. They feel like, your swag is not better than their swag. They feel like your walk is not better than their walk. This is why you'll find people um who, do the identity theft. If they're your friend, they're gonna do shit like you. Let me give you an example. I used to have a friend, and at first we were cool. I said, I was gonna be a friend. She seemed like a genuine, cool, natural, organic hearted person. I said, you know what, I'm gonna give this bitch a chance. You know what I'm saying? She looks kind of lonely. She looks, she needs friends and stuff like that. I'm gonna be this bitch's friend. But I cut the bitch off. You know why I cut her off? Because during our friendship, I used to visit this bitch, and every time I used to go around her, I started to see things change about her. Like, I started to see that she used, wear the same kind of jeans that I was wearing. At first, I would say, whatever. This is a New York thing, maybe this bitch. Because, everybody copies off of everybody, especially in the tri state area. If you're in the tri state area, everybody wears like the same sneakers, the same jeans. You go with the trend. Because if you don't go with the trend, you're gonna get fucking scolded in the tri-state area. So you have to flow with the mo in the tri-state area. So I let this bitch go with following my jean style or whatever. But I'm friends with this bitch, and I'm like, okay, so she's wearing the jeans, the same kind of jeans that I'm wearing. I let that go. Then I started to know that her whole outfit and everything seemed similar to mine. But again, I let that go. I didn't, really say anything. I said, you know what? Maybe this bitch is an admirer. And the old saying is, flattery is like a good compliment. I don't think flattery. If anybody is fucking copying off of you, to me, that's not flattery. To me, that is a sign of being stalked. Anybody who copies you is a stalker. They're a hater in my book. Not flattery. I don't know why they say that, But anybody who's copying off of you, it's not flattery. It means they're stalking. And stalking could, mold into I hate you. That's what stalking turns into. Anybody who stalks you, eventually they're going to hate you. They're not going to like you. People who stalk you don't usually end up liking you. They usually end up hating you. So anytime you see signs of people who start to stalk, that is a hawk that's letting you know, wake up, watch this person because this stalking could turn into hate. So anyway, like I said, I had this friend, at first it was the jeans and then it was the outfit. And then, I started to notice that this bitch was transforming into a mirror like me. And then every time I would see this bitch, it was like slowly I was looking at myself in a mirror. The last straw, guys, was the hairstyle. When she braided her hair like me, that was it. That was it for this bitch. That was the last time I saw her or fucked with her. Um, cut her off completely off. Because if you as a female are dealing with a bitch who is copying you like that and you have a boyfriend, you better believe that the next step from her taking your outfit ideas is fucking your man. So that type of bitch, you better cut her off. Clean off, get rid of her immediately. This bitch is trying to emulate you, imitate you, and be like you. She's trying to replace you. She's trying to take you out of the equation. Okay? Eliminate bitches and niggas or whatever you guys are dealing with out there. If you see anybody who is slowly forming themselves how you are, kick they fucking ass out of your cipher. Get rid of them. This person is a hater. This person does not know themselves. They want to be like you. They want to replace you. They want to take over you. This is a dangerous person. These types of people can kill you. How many times have we looked on the internet and we've seen people get killed by people who are close to them? Because over time, these people fell in contempt and they felt like they can conquer them. Get rid of this person immediately. So anyway, I know I'm all over the place. So anyway, experts just say, if there's somebody who's like excessively competing against you, that this is a person who has deep seated entitlement issues. They're jealous. They suffer from depression. These types of people, they may suffer from bipolarism and abandonment issues. So, in order for them to avoid these types of energies that they're afraid of, they're going to adapt and they're going to want to connect with you energetically and they're going to want to do this spiritual exchange with you and they're going to want to adapt your style. And after a while, when people adapt your style, they adapt the way you talk, you walk, everything about you, they're gonna feel like they can do better than you because over time they've studied you. Okay. A spiritual identity theft person is a stalker who was a hawker who keeps tabs on you. I want you to know that. People who copy you, these are the types of people who over time will devalue you. They will put you down. They will compare you to other people. They will even suggest other people. How many people online right now, as I speak, you have YouTubers or social media followers or whoever, and you hear them say they select certain people for you. They recommend you to follow these people because whenever somebody recommends you to follow another person, automatically you have to know that they've devalued your judgment. And they've said to yourself, this person is a follower of mine. They lack judgment, they lack clarity, they lacked discernment. And I have to tell them like a child who to follow. So they stand up there with their superiority complex and they tell you, you know what, look, you're following me as a sheep. I want you to follow this person because I recommend this person. So they even devalue their crowd. They don't have respect for followers. I want you to understand that, this is, like I said, this is very deep, deeper than you can even imagine. They even devalue the people that follow them. They don't have any respect for you. If you're dealing with a person who spiritually identifies themselves as a thief, if you identified them as a thief, these people devalue even their crowd. I want you to know that. So anyway, I have to even be careful with my words because it's so much going on YouTube, guys. It's so much going on YouTube. But anyway, people who copy people, they do the energy exchange with people. And at first, you're not going to have any idea that you're in competition with these people. I want you to know that people who do the spiritual identity theft and they're copycats and they steal your information, these types of people, they do the energy exchange with people that they're in competition with, that have the juice, they have the motivation, and they can pick up on these people's energy and they make it their own. So basically, they take your shit and run with it. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you is that anybody out there who's going through spiritual identity theft, just know that the people who is fucking identity thefting you, that they fucking did the energy exchange with you, and they're taking your fucking energy, your ideas, and your shit, and they're running miles with it. And they're betting on you to give up. They're betting on you to fall off. They're betting on you to abandon your gift that God gave you. Gotta know, dealing with astrology, that when you're dealing with spiritual identity theft, copycats, people who are info thieves, these people in your astrology are public enemies. These are the types of people that you can find in your seventh house, in your third house, in your 12th house. These types of people that you find in your third, your seventh, and your 12th house, these are the types of people who take pride and they pull on your energy because you become like their motivation, their inspiration, and their energy that keeps them going, keeps them fighting, keeps them reaching, keeps them dreaming and competing to go above and beyond you. So, most of the time, these plans that have been planned when you're dealing with the seventh, the third house, even the fourth house, especially the 12th house in astrology, that these people have planned on you giving up. And they hang around you and they check you out and they look down on you. See, when somebody spiritually identifies you as a weak person and they say to themselves, you know what, this person is not worthy, they, at some point along the line, they program and they devalue you in their minds that you're not worthy of the position that you're on. So over time, their minds start to belittle you and they start to program their minds that you are beneath them and you're not worthy of what you have. And they feel like they can do better than you. I know it sounds silly, guys, but I'm telling you, this is what it is. This is an energy that, people who steal from other people have. And it's their mission to conquer you. And you have to be aware of this energy. So, anyway, people who copy you, you got to know that they're bored. Like I said before, people who copy people, there's a good chance that you've had a conversation with these people. And at one point in the conversation, these people have told you that they were bored with life. They have nothing to do. As an adult, they have absolutely nothing to do with all the bills that we have to pay, with the children that we have to take care of, with the things that we have to leave behind for our children, our legacy, our family, our heritage. These are the types of people who will come to you and say, you know what, bitch, I'm bored. These are copycatters. These are the types of conversations that they have with you. Copycatters are people who fucking come to you and they talk to you and they tell you, you know what, I'm bored. And they listen to you and they listen to your ideas and they watch what you do. And they go from boredom to be fucking coming a hater, and it's becoming a challenge. Now they're competitive towards you. So before they were bored, now they're not. And the reason why they're not bored anymore because they're now competing with you. I want you to understand this. They're competing with you. These types of people, like I said, had conversations, maybe not with you, but with some people. And I guarantee you that along those conversations, they brought up the name bored. They're controlling, they're obsessive, they're envious, and they're jealous. This is the type of energy that they have inside of you. Spiritual identifiers who identify theft, who steal people's identity, who copy other people, who steal their words and make it their own and present it to their wide variety of audience. These people are fucking trifling, yo. There's nothing more to say. These people are trifling and they feel like they deserve more than you. They're haters. They feel like they're better than you. They feel like you don't deserve. I'm telling you, these are the types of people who sit back and have conversations with other people and they say, you know what? Why her, not me? Why him, not me? They're fat. They're whack. This is what they fucking conversate with people and tell people. And they don't get the feedback from people like that. They don't get the feedback from people like that. So they don't get the energy of hate from these people. So what they do is they become competitive. And they fall into this energy of competitiveness. And they're like, you know what? Nobody's agreeing with the fact that I feel like this person is too fat to have this position. You know what I'm saying? They feel like, you know what, this person is they're not pretty enough to be ahead of me. This is what goes on in their mind. I'm telling you guys, I know this sounds crazy as fuck, but I'm telling you, I've had these conversations with people where people on that end, this is their mentality, this is what they think. And that whole thought process, they sit there and they ponder. I'm telling you, these types of people, they be sitting in a car, they sit in a house, they sit wherever they're sitting, and they sit there and all they think about all day is why you and not them. Because over time, they've monitored you. They've been consistently stalking you. And I'm telling you, they're sitting there thinking, why you and not them? Because in their mind, they're like, you know what? I'm prettier than her. I'm better than him. I have a bigger dick than him. Again, excuse me. Like I said, this is, the disclaimer is I'm going to be saying some things that it's parental discretion and some things that you haven't heard, but I'm telling you, this is the mentality. So they're sitting there, they're thinking like, like why him? Why her? I'm better. Remember, at first they were bored, people. At first they were bored. They had nothing to do. They had no ideas. They had no plans. They had no vision. They're empty vessels. They have nothing inside of them. But when they came across you and you confided in them and you told them your secrets, your ideas, your plans, they gave you that condescending compliment that, good luck with this, or I'm happy for you. Even though they said it in what is supposed to be happy words, you picked up on the energy that's the words that was coming out their mouth. It didn't match their energy, and you picked up on that, and you felt that, that wasn't true, that wasn't genuine, it was condescending. Once you pick up on that energy, you're not it's not going to click with you right away. I'm telling let me tell you something. It's not going to click with you right away. But something inside of you is going to say, you know what, this person is not on my side. This person doesn't really feel good for me. This person doesn't really, want good for me. But due to the fact that they have identified themselves as your friend, your family member, or whatever the situation is, you're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. You're going to keep confiding in this person and telling them your dreams, and you're not going to realize that this person is a thief, and they're thieving your dream. They're thieving and they're taking away your mojo. They're thieving and they're taking away your energy for this idea that you confide in them. And they're going to do the spiritual exchange with you guys. And you're not going to realize that once you told that person your dream and your idea, that after you tell that person and you go away from that person, over time, that dream and that idea and that motivation and that drive and that energy that you had at one time before you told this person will diminish. And over time, you're not going to bring forth that idea because they did the energy exchange with you and they took that mojo. They took that spark away from you and your idea and they made it your own. So what you're going to find is that, sometimes when you tell a hater who is a secret hater your idea, when you go to them and you start to tell them, I did this, I did that, they're gonna say, oh, yeah, I'm happy for you, but they're gonna be very condescending and they're gonna probably try to distract you away from your original idea. All the while, listen to me, guys. All the while, stealing, contemplating, and capturing your ideas while they distract you and they try to motivate you and push you towards another direction that they know is going to be failure. And once they set you on that path of failure and destruction and disappointment, all that time, guys, all that time, all those things, all those plans, all those ideas, all that information that you've gathered, you've told them. And as soon as they see you in a vulnerable place, as soon as they see that you're broken or you're in a bad place, they're going to override you because they're betting on you to give up. They're betting on you to fail. They're betting on you to fall off. They're betting on you to not show up because once you fall down, they could take your place and they could take over. If you're a YouTuber, your audience, if you're an influencer, your crowd, whatever you're into, they're going to take it over. They're going to replace you. Let me tell you something. There was somebody who I used to follow online. I'm not going to mention his name. And he had a lot of debilitations in his astrology chart. But overall, he was a good businessman. He was a good businessman. He was genuine. He had a great heart. He was a nice guy. But being a nice guy is dangerous, especially in 2022 going forward. Being a nice guy is a setup for you, for people to conquer you, for people to take over you and override you and steal your dreams and commit identity theft on you. So there was this guy that I was following on YouTube. Like I said, he was a great businessman, but he fucked up and he entrusted in another guy who he thought was his friend. And I'm telling you, when this had happened, I saw him interacting with this guy, and something inside of me told me, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't fuck with him. Don't tell him. Stop giving him all the information. Stop giving him the secrets. But people do what they do. They live their life. They're grown. There's nothing you could tell them. But something inside of my heart told him, don't do this. Don't tell him because this guy's a snake. He's coming around you. He's pretending that he's your friend because he wants all the information. He wants to cheat his way to the top. Because people who have a good heart, they went through the trials, they went through the tribulations, they scuffled and they ruffled through life and they found out information and they've gathered things. And sometimes, these good-hearted people, what they'll do is, the trials and tribulations and all this other thing that they've years of information that they've gathered, they'll have a friend who comes into their cipher and pretend like, they're really down for them. And what this good-hearted person will do is, say, hey, look, I found out how to do this. I found out how to do that. And you could do this and you could do that. And they tell the person and they just like push all of their hard work and all of their energy to that person. All of the stuff that took them years to find out, they will easily push it to this enemy who is posing as a friend. And what this person will do is stand up there like a snake and say, yeah, oh man, oh, damn, you got all this information. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I know you're going through a hard time. I know you're going through depression. I know you lost somebody. I know you're not feeling good. I know you're feeling bad or whatever. I know it took you like about 10 years to, figure out how to get through this information. I know you're confiding me as a friend. I know and everything like that. But see, what they'll do is they'll stand there, guys. I'm telling you, they will stand there and they will gladly accept the information that took you years. Come on now, talk to me. Hello. Hey, it took you years to get to this point. But this snake friend of yours, who you are confiding in, they're side by side on you. And just due to the fact of loneliness, due to the fact that you trust in this person so much and you can find that this person is your best friend. You're like, even though it took me 10 years, blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point of level of information, I'm gonna give you this information. They give it to the friend. So due to the fact that this friend fell into contempt, they devalued you over time. See, they're not going to tell you this. They're going to wait till you give them the Obi-Wan Kenobi and they give you the icing on the cake and you present to them years of information that you have gathered, blood, sweat, and tears, and gave it to them. They're going to take it from you. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to take it. They're going to take that shit. Take it! After they take that information that you put blood, sweat, and tears into, years of fucking information into, they gonna take that shit from you. After they take that shit from you, they gonna fucking devalue the fuck out of you. They go fucking present it to their audience. Let me tell you something. What I'm telling you right now is something that I seen somebody else that I looked up to, that I seen this happen to. See, they gonna take all that information that you put blood, sweat, and tears and research into, but due to the fact that they were your friend and you confided into them and they so-called confided into you, you gonna give it to them nice and smoothly. And they gonna take that shit and they gonna step back and say, "What a fool! What an idiot! This person is gullible. Person's an idiot." And they gonna gladly take your information. And I'm telling you right now, they gonna use all that shit against you, and they gonna discard you. This is spiritual identity theft at its finest. This is not the fairy la la land that you guys want to live into and think that everybody is cool and everything like that. This is 2022. Spiritual identity theft is on the fucking rise. It started in 2021, around I think October. That's when people started getting spiritual identity theft. This is when I started hearing it through YouTube and through the social media airways, where people started, going out and telling their audience, look, I don't do this, I don't do that, but somebody's trying to, they're using my avatar, and they're saying that they me because I ain't doing the work, and because when somebody spiritually identifies you and they thief from you, they have identified you as a person who's lazy, a person who doesn't want the money, a person who ain't about that life. So they figured in their mind, I'm telling you, they programmed their mind and they said to themselves, you know what, this is a free country, this is free. And if that person doesn't want it, I'm going to take it from that person. And they said, you know what? If that person doesn't want to read cards or if they don't want to do the astrology, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to their followers, their sheeps, the people who are so thirsty just to talk to them. I'm going to go to them with a fake avatar and a fake proposition, and I'm going to fucking submit to them. And I'm going to let them know, like, look, yo, if you want to talk to me, it's gonna be like $100 an hour or whatever. I don't know what they charging, and they gonna have a PayPal that's similar to yours. They have a Cash App and everything that's similar to yours, and they gonna be like, "Yo, if you want this, I got it." And the person is gonna be so thirsty and so open at the fact of trying to get close to you. They're gonna be like, "Fuck it." They're gonna give that credit card information. They're gonna send a Cash App, $100, $200, whatever they charging out there. They spiritually identified and they fucking identified and they identified theft on you. And they took your proceeds. Why? Because they devalued you. They have devalued you. So they took over your platform. They took over you because they felt like you weren't strong enough. They devalued you because they fucking copied you and they consistently stalked you over time. So if you are a victim of spiritual identity theft, there's a good chance that you're gonna go through like a roller coaster of like emotions and stuff like that. And some of the things that you may experience is like backstabbing. You may experience anger, anxiety, feeling. I'm telling you, if you've ever went through spiritual identity theft, you're gonna feel like all of a sudden like you have to rush. You're gonna feel like you have to rush because somebody within your cipher, somebody within your circle is in a race with you, in competition with you. Someone who's trying to take your place, invade your space because they've been spying and stalking you. And if you don't wake up and realize and take over what's happening to you, they're going to take your money and they're going to demean you and they're going to devalue you. And if over time, I'm telling you right now, if you don't take control of this situation that's going on right now in the year 2022, they're going to devalue your product because people are not going to trust you because they're going to feel like, you're not taking control of the situation. You know that I like you, that I'm following you. It's your responsibility to put me on the right track. You're not in your dean, you know what I mean? And these people who are spiritually identifying you and thieving from you are going to take advantage of your platform and your situation, and they're going to take control over you. And the whole reason for this is to devalue you, because the reason why they did this is because they've studied you. They see how you move. They know that you're not, doing what you need to do. So they devalued you. And they're going to take over. And it's your responsibility to make sure that this does not continue. But people who spiritually identify and they do the identity theft on people, trust me, they have people around them who probably have told them, yo, chill out, yo. They pulled their code and they told them, they was like, yo, I know you want to be on top. I know that's the thirst. I know that's the quench that you're trying to thirst, is to be above the person that, you don't like, but you're really stalking them and everything like that. They gonna tell them like, yo, the stuff that you're saying, I kind of heard it from the other person, and it's gonna be obvious that you're copying them and stuff like that, and you sound like them, and you're doing like the same kind of things that they're doing. So there's somebody within their cipher who probably told them, you spiritually identify fucking thievery. You need to fucking back the fuck off, because it's obvious that that person said that first, but you're doing it, and it's, come on, scale back, try to be a little bit more discreet, try to be a little more neat about, the copying and stuff like that, but they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. Because the reason why they're not going to get it is because the person who's doing their spiritual identity theft, they've programmed. See, the only way that you're going to be able to do all of these things that I've already talked to you guys about is that you had to go through a program. So these people have programmed themselves to believe that what they're doing is right because this is a free country. Nothing is copywritten. Nobody's going to know that you said it first because your audience is not as big as theirs. So they have the right to steal from you. This is what they've programmed in their mind and said to themselves. So thieving against you is nothing. It's nothing to them. But trust me, somebody in their circle told them not to fucking do this because they're going to embarrass themselves. Because when people wake up and they stop walking around like sheeps, they're going to realize, and they're going to fucking do the math, and they're going to fucking do the score, and they're going to see, wait a minute, you didn't say that first. You didn't do that first. This person did that. And it's obvious that you got it from this person. But they don't give a fuck because they devalue even their own crowd. They devalue the people in their crowd, and they said to themselves, you know what? The people in my crowd are dumb. Everybody around a person who is a spiritual identity theft person, they think that everybody around them is dumb, including their audience. So they're not going to think that nobody in their audience is going to be smart enough to know that they fucking heard that shit like 6 months ago from another YouTuber or another social media person who probably don't have the big crowd as they, but they fucking got it from them. And the way that they're saying it, it doesn't even sound right. It doesn't, it's, you got that from somebody you spiritually identified. You identity theft. But see, they don't have respect, not even for their crowd. So they can get away with it. But you have to be responsible for your real estate. And I'm here to tell you that on social media, just like in physical life, when you buy a house, that's your real estate. And just like you need the deed on your property, you need the deed on your social media presence. And I'm here to tell you real quick, guys, I'm about to get off this thing and everything like that. But if you have a social media presence, I don't give a fuck if you have one subscriber, if you have 1,000 subscribers, if you have 1,000,000 subscribers, claim your real estate. Because if you don't fucking claim your real estate, somebody, a fucking spiritual identifier, a copycat, a person with the evil eye, an info thief will come and fucking take over your property. They will steal your words, they will steal your style, and they will steal your fucking real estate. So it's important for you to keep your real estate intact, never let it go, and make sure that you do all the things that you need to do to protect your fucking information and your property. Because in 2022, there is people out here who will fucking spiritually identify you and steal your information. They will steal your information. Why? Because they devalued you. Over time, they sat around you and they felt like you did not fucking deserve and you weren't worthy and they felt like they could do better than you and they want to take over your real estate. So it's important for you to make sure that you guard yourself. Take over yourself. This is your fucking property. They don't have the right to steal your words. They don't have the right to take over your real estate. This is your real estate, and you need to be the ownership of your real estate and stand firm on things that you produce in this life. Because if you don't, there's fucking thieves out here who will take over your information, take over the things that you've said first, and they will take over your real estate. They will steal your name. They will steal the things that you've done. So you have to be firm. You can't be a weak person. This is 2022. You better wake up. People are out here to destroy you, to devalue you, to take over the shit that you have built. You better be strong out there. I'm telling you right now. This is not a game. You better stay firm. People are ready to take over your shit. They're going to devalue you. People who copy you are like monkeys on your back. Like I said before, these are people like a backpack who at some point in your life they stalked you, they talked about you, they listened to you, and they took things and they took mental and physical notes rather than leaving the situation that they find themselves in because they don't like you. Remember, the reason why they're doing these things is because they fell into contempt with you. I want you to understand that people who fucking identify you and they spiritually thieve you, it's because they fell into contempt with you. They devalued you. And they feel as though they can triumph you and they can win you. People who do these things, we all know they're insecure. They don't have any self worth. They don't have any ideas. They're an empty vessel. They were bored before, remember? There's a good chance that anybody who fucking does stuff like this and you had a conversation with them before, I bet you there's a 9 times out of 10 fucking percent chance that when you talk to this person, they've said along the conversation that they were bored, that they don't have any ideas, they don't know what to do. But you sat next to them. You were the confidant, you were their friend. You have more ideas than they do. It may not be a friend, it may be an enemy. Who knows who it is? But this is a person as I'm trust me. Anybody who's doing this to you, this person was close to you. You had some type of fucking energy exchange with this person where they felt like they can fucking devalue you and take over your presence, your platform, and they want to take over you. So be careful. You got to understand people who copy you, who spiritually identify you. These are the type of people who will call you names, who will put you down to their crowd. They will compare you to other people, including themselves. First, they compared you to themselves. See, the only way somebody who could do something like this, what I described, is that at some point in the relationship, at some point in the connection that you've had with this person, they've compared you to them. And some way along the line, they said to themselves, you know what, this person is not better than me. We're on the same level. And they compared themselves to you. And this is why they felt like they can spiritually identify and steal your identity, steal your ideas, steal everything that you have and make it their own and present it to their crowd. So, um, this is a person who will constantly condemn you, condemn you to their crowd, to condemn you, even sometimes to close people. And they do this because they're looking for some type of validation within the conversation that will give them the motivation to conquer you, because they have to prove to everyone that their backstabbing and their smear campaign is better than you. So, this is a serious crime. Like I said, this is a universal crime. Um, this is spiritual identity theft. This is information thieves. And this includes ear hustlers. Like I said before, and I'm going to end it real quick, but a spiritual person who identifies and thieves other people's energy and information is a hater. They have a football mentality and they have the evil eye. I want you to understand, anybody who's fucking around with this energy has the evil eye. You have to be very careful of this person. You can't fuck around with this person too tough. If this person is your friend, I highly recommend for you to cut them off completely. Just imagine you have a sharp knife and you just take the fucking knife and you cut right down the fucking cord and you fucking slice them away. You get rid of them completely. They're never allowed to come around your space again because they have proved that they are a backstabber, a person who spiritually identifies themselves as an identity thief, a person who copycats and ear hustles off of your information instead of finding out who are you, because every one of us who are born on this earth, we're all born with our own special gifts and talents. You don't have to fucking thief from nobody. You don't have to ear hustle and listen to what somebody else is saying to go and produce it to your audience and make it seem like you came up with that first. You're fucking thieving from somebody, yo. What did God bless you with? God bless you with a gift. But see, they're so busy fucking looking over at somebody else and what they doing. They can't even take the time to dig into their own self to see what God has blessed them with, the gifts within themselves, because they too busy looking over at somebody else like a fucking bootlegger. So at the end of the day, basically a copycat is a spiritual bootlegger, a scammer that doesn't want you around. You hear me? If you're going through this, this is a person, once again, who is a spiritual bootlegger, a scammer, a person who does not want you around, a person who's hoping and praying that one day you will fall off, drop out so they can take your place. People who copy, like I said before, are like monkeys. They're like a backpack who at some point stalked, talked about you, talked to you, or maybe listened to things that you have said and took mental notes. So they hate you so much. So rather than leaving and going about their way and trying to discover who they are inside and trying to dig into their own treasure box, these are the types of people who, instead of them leaving a situation, they decide to stay and they find themselves wanting to triumph and win over you, not realizing that by them staying and not leaving and trying to discover who they are inside, by them staying and monitoring and constantly stalking you, they don't realize that what it's doing to them, it's giving them an energy of insecurity. As much as they want to devalue you, they feel undervalued. As much as they want to say to themselves that you're not worthy, they feel lack of worth. they stick around you and they pick and they cherry pick all your faults, not realizing that they have their own faults. See, people who fucking do shit like that, for some reason, they take joy. They're like energy vampires who feel like, hanging around you and finding faults about what you're doing and comparing what you're doing to themselves, it makes them feel better. So these types of people are invaders who constantly surveillance people. They're copycats. These types of people, they're copycats. They sit around, they monitor, they stalk, they walk around people, and they